backwards. I said the holiday Thanksgiving.
Oh, did you? And I didn't even catch it. That's Monday for you.
I was trying to let it slide until Lofton over here started laughing at me.
Mr. Lofton.
Yeah,
Mr.
to
Lofton.
you. Hey, good morning. Glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. Luckily, you're probably half asleep too and didn't even catch it. But at 6 o'clock on our Monday, we kind of had the tale of both. I mean, he's not going to be able to recover from that.
Yes, I know, exactly. But we are very focused on this forecast.
Yes.
As we saw that live shot downtown where it will be filled with lights after this
It will
Friday.
be, you know, Julia and I are excited because Friday night, the Christmas season officially starts with the Circle of Lights. And I must tell you, though, we are going to see a massive change this week. In fact, the difference between the high today and the high Sunday, 30 degrees.
Oh, Lord.
Said that fast. Did you catch that? Well, here we are with a live look at Monument Circle. You can see the Colts logo there. Unfortunately, tough game. But we are going to hear more from Dave Calabro on the wake-up call this morning, talking about that tough Colts loss yesterday. That's okay. They're going to win out. We're going to be in the playoffs, all right? Wow, what a contrast we're seeing in our great country this morning. 55 in Indianapolis. In Bismarck, it is 10. Yes, that is a 45-degree difference, and this cooler air is going to weave its way down into Indiana, but not today. Today, as far as temperatures are concerned, just wonderful. In fact, about 10 degrees above average. Crawfordsville, you're at 51. Newcastle's at 50 at Newcastle Arena over there. Rushville's at 50, and Shelbyville is at 56. Bloomington on the IU campus is at 58. At Purdue, it's 53 this morning. And we have seen a little bit of drizzle that is so light and mist, too, that the radar really doesn't detect it. I do think there's a chance for some light showers later on today, so we're putting that in our forecast. 7:41 will be your sunrise later on today, and you'll notice between 8 a.m. and like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., almost no difference in temperatures. We're basically holding steady. I'm going to call today's high 58. Now, again, we have big drops and big changes just in time for the travel time. Wednesday into Thursday for Thanksgiving. We'll get to that in minutes. But let's check on travel this morning. We're going to see some weird rush hours, I think, this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird week. Maybe folks taking some time off early ahead of the holidays. So we'll talk about some construction that we've had going on over this past weekend. Most of these lanes have reopened, but you're going to notice this on the south side of town, right there near those new I-69 ramps in between US 31 and about Man Road. That's what you're looking at here, by the way, Man Road, 465 on the south side in both directions, where we do have some traffic cones that are out, but traffic is not being impacted by those lane restrictions just yet. So that's some good news. But we are also looking at that far right lane currently being blocked at I-70 on the ramp to the airport. That's I-70 westbound, by the way. No major issues because of that, but we'll continue to monitor your delay tracker and let you know if you need to leave a little bit earlier due to those traffic conditions. Guys?
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, our top story here at 6 for you. IMPD investigators are looking into several shootings this morning that happened over the weekend. Many of those happening over the course of just 12 hours from Saturday into Sunday.
And 2 of these shootings are unfortunately fatal. Matthew Foltz is looking into the rash of violence, unfortunately, over the weekend. Matthew, good morning. What do we know from police?
Yeah, good morning to you both. We know that one of these shootings happened outside of a bar on the Indy's east side, and we know that one man died and another was injured after police say some sort of argument happened inside before shots were fired. Now, I want you to take a look at your screen. This was just one of nearly a dozen shootings that happened over the weekend. Metro Police telling us the first shooting happened Saturday evening around 6 after a 15-year-old was shot and sent to Riley Hospital in critical condition. Then hours later, a man was shot and killed outside of a McDonald's near 38th and Keystone. Early Sunday morning, police were called to another lounge nearly 2 miles from where they say a man was seriously injured after an argument led to someone going out and getting their gun. Community leaders now say this is leaving the community and people living nearby frustrated and wanting answers.
There doesn't seem to be any answers or any conversation in this city about what has happened over the last 12 years that has gotten us to this point. And what is the answer and the strategies that's going to help us to reverse this?
And that was Reverend Charles Harrison you just heard from, who has been a longtime community activist. Meanwhile, Julia, police say they need your help this morning in solving these cases. Of course, anyone with any information that can help is asked to call police. Of course, we are also working to learn the names of the two men who were shot and killed over the weekend.
Thank you, Matthew.
Well, right now we are trying to find out more about the condition of a 15-year-old that Matthew mentioned who walked himself into Riley Hospital after being shot. At last check, that 15-year-old was in critical condition. We have reached out, though, to police to see if there have been any changes. On Saturday night, police responded to Riley for someone who had walked into the ER. So we have reached out to police to see if they have any new leads or new details about where this even happened. So if you have any information, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Oh, this morning, 2 police officers are on administrative leave after shooting and killing a man in Rochester. It's about 30 minutes north of Logansport. The shooting was Saturday morning. Detectives say that Rochester Police and Fulton County Sheriff's deputies went to a home on Monroe Street for a reported domestic disturbance. When they arrive, investigators tell us that 37-year-old Stephen Harding pointed a gun at police. Both an officer and a deputy shot back, hitting Harding, who died at the scene. No officers were injured, but right now we know state police are investigating.
New this morning, Zionsville Fire is investigating the cause of a large building fire that caused more than $500,000 worth of damage. I want to show you some of the pictures provided to us by that department. This fire happened near County Road 900 East, just south of State Road 32 in rural Zionsville. Right now, we know no injuries were reported. We are reaching out to the department to find out more about that particular structure and the subsequent fire. Also this morning, a family near Martinsville is without a home this morning. Take a look at some of these incredible pictures showing the devastating fire. This was on East Big Rock Road in Green Township. Firefighters were called to this home on Saturday night and they saw this, the flames just shooting from the home. 8 additional fire departments were called in to help. Luckily, the homeowners happened to be out of town, so there were no injuries reported.
Classes will resume as normal this morning at Winchester Village Elementary School after a vehicle crashed into it over the weekend. Take a look here. This was around 1:20 yesterday morning. An SUV crashed into the school, leaving that gaping hole and crumbled brick on the building. The principal says that vehicle was on Stop 12 Road when it somehow veered off and then ran into the school. No one was inside of the school, so no one was seriously hurt, including the driver. The area damaged is not an instructional space, so classes will be normal today.
And we have a huge holiday travel week ahead, of course, here in central Indiana and across the U.S. And just in time, you'll notice a big traffic change on I-70. So right now, the ramp from State Road 9 onto westbound I-70 in Hancock County is now reopen. We know that's good news and just in time. So also traffic on I-70 West will shift back to those normal lanes. So this will stay like it until crews restart road work in the spring. So a little bit of good news
Usually
there.
when you say traffic change, I'm like, oh Lord, here we go
let's hear
again.
it.
Yes.
Well, hey, as Chuck mentioned earlier, we are expecting rain, even a little bit of snow around Thanksgiving as millions hit the roads and the skies here in Indiana.
For a lot of you, that means visiting family, but for others, it means getting away from the cold for a little bit.
We're headed to Tampa.
Take me with you, take me with you. That is the plan for the Butch family. They have 2 daughters. They are competitive swimmers. Others are traveling to see friends or family. And right now, AAA says they are expecting nearly 2 million Hoosiers to take off. The majority of that travel will actually be on the road.
We're a pretty big driving state. I do think the lower gas prices are encouraging even more people to drive. We're seeing them below $3 a gallon at a lot of places already, and they're still dropping a little bit more.
Indiana State Police have already started ramping up patrols with the increased traffic. Those patrols will last all week on what's expected to be a record-breaking holiday on the highways.
Well, now that Thanksgiving is just a few days away, we know that several local organizations are getting out to help.
One of those is the New Direction Church outside of Arlington Middle School. The church held its annual Thanksgiving giveaway. It's something that they say grows every year in need and in turnout to volunteer. Pastor Kenneth Sullivan Jr. says they served more people than ever this year because it has gotten a bit harder for families to get food on the table.
For a long time, this has been considered a food desert or a zone of food insecurity. So we understand the importance of rising to the call to meet the need.
Well, this past week, several other groups were also helping families with the holiday meal, including the Office of Public Health and Safety. So today, actually, there is another chance. They will be at Lawrence Police Department from 3 this afternoon until 5 o'clock. They'll also be at Stanley Schrader Park Family Center on Bethel Avenue from 4 to 6. And then on Wednesday, they'll be at Breeding Tabernacle from 12 to 3. So a couple of dates and times to keep up with. We had that posted for you at WTHR.com. Well, one Indiana team did pick up a win over the weekend. The Pacers, they snapped that 3-game losing streak with a win against Washington. They beat the struggling Wizards 115-103. Pascal Siakam, Tyrese Halliburton, and Benedict Mathurin led scoring for the Pacers. The team is now 5-3 at home, and they are home again tonight. The Pelicans are coming to town. Tip-off is at 7. Well, now let's talk about some of the other teams. We know the Colts faced a tough game on Sunday against the red-hot Detroit Lions, who are 10-1 for this season. 13 Sports Director Dave Calabro gives us the rundown of this tough team that they had in this week's Colts wake-up call at 6:45.
And this morning there could be a ray of hope as tensions in the Middle East still run high. We'll walk you through the new deals that could be slowly coming together. That's at 6:15.